Being very entitled and controlling, narcissists have no difficulty stepping all over your personal boundaries. So that's why I put together an extensive video class called This Is Me. It has 25 videos, written documents, guided questions. I'm going to teach you how to have healthy boundaries. There's a link below, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. The more time you spend around a strongly narcissistic individual, the more you realize these people have an uncanny knack for creating an adversarial atmosphere. To them, winning is everything, and it's far more important than being objective as you share your thoughts and your plans and your priorities, and you try to come to terms with how to blend. Whenever you find yourself in disagreement with a narcissist, or you just have a simple preference that doesn't match where they are at the moment, they're going to try to turn you into somebody that has to be vanquished. They can come out with their strong authoritarian mindset. They have such a strong need for control, and their attitude of entitlement says, no, you have to keep coming over here and defer to me. In my mind, anyway, a healthy relationship gives much higher priority to being able to objectively discern wisdom. And whether we're talking about inside your home or in social circles or organizations or work, we can just sit down and say, you have your thoughts, I have my thoughts. Let's figure out what's going to be the wisest in the way that we manage our differences. Do you ever think of a narcissist as wise? Opinionated, yes. Judgmental, yes. Condescending, yes. But narcissists can be so argumentative. I'll have people say, this is the most stubborn person that I've ever met. Or whenever you're with that person, you're trying to come to terms with differences, you're constantly feeling like you're being devalued. You feel belittled. That's that adversarial mindset. When you agree, then disagree, they seem to make it their job to make you feel miserable. Over time, when you continue to have this kind of reception, you can start thinking, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. And you start wanting to figure out, how do I show a sense of defiance? And when I say defiance, it means I'm just going to openly let it be known. I'm not going to go along with that. How can I establish my own sense of defiance without making matters worse? Let's keep in mind that whenever you show yourself to be different or other, narcissists are very quick to jump on the victim status. It's like, look what you're doing to me now. Look how miserable you're making my life. And so when you defy them and their authority or their expectations, there's a really high probability that some strong discomfort is going to be showing up. How are you going to manage? Well, let's see first if we can just kind of get an idea of, what our starting point is, what our truth is when you engage with narcissists. And I want to see if we can come up with a don't versus do kind of mindset in terms of how you can maintain a defiant spirit. And you're going to know, and you know from my other videos, that I'm not one of these that's going to shake my fist at them and kick them in the shins and go to toe, the old insult for insult kind of thing. I just feel no need to do that, because it means I'm taking my cues from that dysregulated person. But first, let's start with some understanding about who we're dealing with. These individuals are going to be naturally angry and judgmental and closed, regardless of what I say and do. It's not about me. If I'm not on the scene with them and somebody else is in my place, they're going to be the exact same way. That's just simply who they are. Anytime that you try to fix the differences between yourself and that narcissist with a temporary truce, it's not going to last very long. These individuals, they can be satisfied short term, but no amount of fixing coming from you is going to be lasting. They just can't stand having any kind of compromise. You're forevermore going to be deemed as stupid. That's the way they think. If you disagree, it doesn't mean, oh, you have a different thought. No, it means you're inferior, you're inadequate, you're an idiot, you're stupid. And as a result, you can see that they're going to step all over your sense of well-being and your sense of respect. And if anyone's going to practice self-care in this equation, it's not going to be them. You're going to have to take care of yourself all by yourself. And so I'm hoping that you realize that you're just dealing with somebody who's ready to be an adversary. Now, when you take this notion that says, I'm not dealing with this anymore, and you have this attitude of defiance, there are multiple mistakes that you want to see if you can avoid. And now, the first mistake is assuming that somehow you can speak in such a way where you finally feel like your perspective matters to the narcissist. It doesn't. And so get that out of your head that you're going to somehow get them to see the light. You can make the mistake of trying to lay out all of your evidence about why it's okay for you to be you and why it's reasonable for you to think and feel as you do. When's the last time that narcissistic person says, well, upon further review, I'm going to declare you to be an okay person. You're right. They don't do that. Whenever you try to lay out your evidence, they're just going to whittle away at whatever logic you're trying to bring to them. You can make the mistake of asking cornering questions, hoping that somehow that's going to guilt or shame them into doing the right thing. Like, well, what do you expect when you treat me this way? Or why do you think it's okay for you to do this instead of this? And you can ask what I call cornering questions. Doesn't work. It's an option, but in my mind, it's a mistake. You can engage in nowhere arguments. By that, I mean you can keep repeating yourself over and over and over. And I've had so many people say, I've had 100 different conversations with this person about, our differences, and it just gets me nowhere. And my thinking is, well, is number 101 going to be the one that breaks through? You don't need to keep repeating yourself. Sometimes you can solicit outside reinforcement. Well, maybe if I get this person over here to come in and speak the same as what I'm saying, maybe that's going to change things. It doesn't. Sometimes you can just collapse and just say, forget it, and you let go of your initiatives. Other times you might make the mistake of just going rogue and becoming terribly rebellious or acting out or being defiant in a way that only harms yourself. But it is necessary, despite those potential mistakes, to hold on to that sense of defiance to the extent that you can decide, I need to be true to me. But you can do it with a sense of calmness, calm firmness, calm confidence. When you take that kind of mindset, there are multiple repercussions in a good way that can come about. For example, in your calm confidence, you can decide, I'll explain myself to this person once. And if it becomes obvious, it's just going to be one of those repetitive things. Once is enough. Likewise, when you hold on to your calm confidence, you can say to yourself, I'm going to accept the narcissist's pronouncement that person thinks I'm defective. That can seem counterintuitive to think that way. I accept the fact that that's what they think because you don't want to, but there it is. And it's just a truth. It's an ugly truth. Let's just go ahead and accept that as part of your milieu there. In addition, you can remind yourself, I don't need this person's endorsement to make my own decisions. And if the narcissist thinks that I'm way off target, that's where they are. I don't seek out their stamp of approval. Likewise, I'll start with my own little defiant victories in small doses. For example, I had one woman say, well, my husband at night doesn't like it when I watch TV. When I read a book. He wants me to come in there and watch TV with him, and he gets mad if I don't do it. I said, well, what do you want to do? So I want to read a book. Then read a book then. It's okay just in those small moments to just be you, or it's okay in the larger moments to say, that's not where I am, and I'm not going to go along with that. Take your victories, small, large, somewhere in between, and act upon it. The narcissist certainly isn't going to take that initiative on your behalf. Likewise, when you have this calm defiance, you can remind yourself that I feel no need to offer apologies simply for being me. I feel no need to offer excuses or lame explanations just simply for being me. My estimation of myself does not rise or fall based on that narcissist's approval. I'm no one's inferior, nor do I need to deem someone else to be inferior beneath me. My worth is not up for a vote. My opinions, my preferences, my experiences, my priorities belong to me. It's my own intellectual property, if you want to put it in those terms. The narcissist gets to interpret me any way he or she wants to interpret me. And guess what? I get to interpret me any way that I decide to interpret who I am. That's what I am. You see, in the end, I'm hoping that in your calm defiance, you can decide, I'm responsible for being true to myself. And that's not a bad thing. And the narcissist, in their effort to try to turn it adversarial, they can think whatever they want, but the narcissist does not have the final say in my life regarding who I'm going to be. So when I defy a narcissist's demands, when I defy their dominance and mandates, I'm voting yes for myself. And then when the narcissist predictably disagrees, I'm still voting yes for myself. Calm defiance. I'm hoping that's a mindset that you can hold on to. And I hope that videos such as this give you some good food for thought regarding the way that you're going to manage yourself, perhaps in some less than wonderful circumstances. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We'll keep more videos coming in your direction. There's a notification bell. Hit that. Hit the like button too. If you have a need for therapy, and many times as you try to sift out these kind of situations, it would be good to have someone objective who can help you work through that. I'm so pleased to have been sponsored for quite some time now by the good people at BetterHelp.com. There's a link below to their online therapy service. It's affordable, it's accessible, and if that's something that you need, I would strongly encourage you to go in that direction. Likewise, I have my therapeutic courses, and these are meant to be challenging in terms of examining the many, many dimensions of who you are and how you engage with a person. We have Ready, Set, Connect about making good connection skills. This is me establishing boundaries, free to be, finding yourself despite the controllers. Each course has multiple videos with written documents and guided questions. We also have my website with many articles on it. We have my webinars, and we also have my books and other resources. And so, and my Surviving Narcissism podcast, for those of you in the podcast world, I so appreciate you letting me be on your journey with you. Now, one of the things that I'm hoping that you can hold on to is being different. Being separate and distinct from that narcissist is not a crime. It's just simply you saying, I'm me. And when the narcissist can't deal with that, at some point, it's like, I realize that, but that's not necessarily my problem to solve. I'm committed to healthiness, and it starts with me remaining committed to my own decency. It's called boundaries, and I'm hoping that's something you can hold on to, and when you do, it positions you to be the person of peace that I truly hope that you can be.